Okay everyone, so now we are learning the method overloading. So to understand that, first of all we are taking the C++ procedures. Now here three procedures are defined. We are having the first procedure, then is the second, and then is the third. Now three procedures are defined, and here we can see that the name is same, sum, and sum. So whenever we are using the one name into multiple form, that is called the polymorphism. And from the polymorphism, we are having the static polymorphism, which is called the method overloading. So method overloading is a concept where we are using a single name and we are using with the multiple methods. In the C programming, it is not possible, but in the C++ or all object-oriented programming languages, just like .NET, Java, it is possible. But to use the method overloading, there is a restriction. Either the argument number can be different or type can be different. So to understand that, we are taking the example here. We can see that if we talk about the example of C++, here the name is same. So everywhere we are finding the sum. And here how many arguments are there? You can see that there is only one argument is passed, which is A. So I am writing 1 over there. Now again into the second procedure, how many arguments are passed? Again one argument. In the third procedure, how many arguments? 1 and 2. So 2 arguments are passed. But there is a restriction applied. Restriction is that if the arguments number are same, you can see that 1 and 1, they are of same number. If the number of arguments are same, you cannot provide their type same. You can see that the first one is the integer and second one is the float. So here we have made the difference that if the argument number are same, which is 1, 1, then their type should be different. Or you can simply pass different number of argument. Number means here you can see that we are passing the 2 arguments. So there is no comparison because 1 argument and 2 argument, there is no comparison. Now I'm taking the example of VB.NET. In the VB.NET, we have taken the same procedures. Here we are having the 3 procedures, same as the C++. Now they are having the same names. The first thing is the sub. We know that sub means the void. So void is converted to the sub. Now afterward, they are having the same name. All are having the sum. So here the procedures are having the same name. And if I want to overload them, then we know that the conditions are either the number of arguments should be different or type should be different. So here again, as per the example of C++, here we are having by value A as integer. So only one argument is passed. By value A as double, again one argument is passed. And here by value A as integer, by value B as integer. We have used 2 lines because of the space. Now these are 2 arguments. So if I compare this 2 with this 1, so there is no problem. So 2 is perfectly fine. Now there can be problem between both ones because both the arguments are 1, same in number. But now we are going to check their type. So if we see, the first one type is integer and second one type is double. So again there is no problem with these 2 ones. So these 2 ones will also be working fine. So from here we can derive the definition of method overloading. Method overloading, function overloading or procedure overloading. These all are the same thing. In the C++, method, function or the procedure, they are the same name. But if you talk about the .NET, here we are having procedures who are having no return type and the functions who are having the return type. They both are called the methods. That's why the method word is used here. So in the method overloading, the methods have same name. So here if we talk about the C++, we can see that sum, and sum. So these all functions or the procedures having the same name. And if we talk about the .NET, again here we have used the same name, sum, and sum. So here the procedures are having the same name. But there is a condition, there is a restriction who is applied. So the condition number 1 is different number of argument. So here if we see the example, then the number of arguments here is 1, then 1, and this is 2. So 2 is perfectly fine. So there is no problem with the 2. Now with 1 and 1, there can be a clash. So here if you talk about the .NET, again the same thing is there are 2 arguments. Now 1 and 1, so these are 2 arguments. Then afterward, if you talk about the above procedure, so we are having the 1 here and then again 1. So 2 is perfectly fine, but there can be a clash between this 1 and 1. So for that, there is one more statement or the second condition, that is different type of argument. So when we see that their argument number is same, just like 1 and 1, then we are going to check what is their data type. So here the data type is integer and here is float. So it is perfectly fine. If both are integer, then it will not work. But if both are different, so it will work. Similarly, if you talk about the .NET here, if the both number is same, then we are going to check the data type. So here we can see that integer and double. So they are working fine because their type is different. So in the method overloading, the name should be same of the procedure or the function, but their number of arguments should be different or the type of argument should be different. Here we can see that we have used the void. Void means no return type. And in the .NET we have used the sub, which is again the no return type, which is same as the void. But return type don't matter. So the return type of overloading method can be same or different. That means return type not matter. You are giving integer type, double type, any of the type or the void type, that doesn't matter. Only matter is the argument passed, their number and the name of function. Whenever we are using the same name in the procedure, just like we have used the sum here at the 3 places. Now the question is that which of the procedure will be called? Now that procedure which will be called depend upon the argument. Just like here we can see that there is only one argument of integer type. So if I am going to write simply sum in the bracket, if I am writing let's say 7, we know that this 7 is the integer. So the first procedure will be called. If I am simply writing the sum in bracket, I am passing let's say 7.7. We know that this is a double type and single argument. So here second one will be called. If I am simply writing sum and in the bracket I am passing let's say 7,6. Now these are the 2 arguments, and for the 2 arguments we know that this is the third procedure will be called. So procedure which will be called, that depend upon the calling. So whichever we are calling, which argument we are passing, based upon that the procedure will be called. So method invoke depends upon the type of argument passed. So whatever the argument we are passing, based upon this procedure will be called. If here I am passing the integer, so integer is called. If I am passing the double, so double procedure is called. And here I am passing the 2 integers, so procedure will the 2 integer will call. And we know that this overloading is the example of polymorphism. So polymorphism is the main origin from where the overloading comes, because overloading is the part of polymorphism. So we simply learn that overloading is one thing into many form, which is the part of polymorphism. In the overloading, we are using the different procedures which will be having the same name but different number of argument or different type of argument. So that is all about the method overloading.